We pour everything into making a great recording session. The performance, the tech, the energy, all of it. But what happens the moment the cameras actually stop rolling? Because that, right there, is when the real fight for your creative assets truly begins. Today, we are talking about the data endgame and why owning your raw footage is, well, it's absolutely non-negotiable. So, picture this. You just wrapped an amazing session. You totally nailed it. You're walking out of that studio feeling on top of the world, just waiting for that amazing final cut. But there's this little question that's kind of hanging in the air, whether you realize that or not. Who actually controls the digital DNA of your work now that you've left? And let me tell you, the answer is not as simple as you think. And that question leads us right into what I call the post-session problem. It's this hidden trap that, honestly, so many creators fall right into without ever seeing it coming. I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling of relief, the performance is done, the pressure's off, you've just poured your heart and soul into the work, and now you're just kicking back, waiting for all that post-production magic to happen. You trust the process. You trust the studio you hired. But here is the stone-cold truth. That exact moment of relief, that's when you are at your absolute most vulnerable. The real fight for your intellectual property, for the entire future of your content, has only just started. So what is this trap I'm talking about? Well, it's a business model that's incredibly common out there. Let's call it the footage hostage model. And you know what? It often hides behind that really appealing term, all-inclusive. Think about it. A year goes by, you want to cut a new trailer, you ask the studio for an alternate camera angle from that shoot, and bam, they hit you with a massive bill just to access the footage you already paid them to create in the first place. That, my friends, is the trap. And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? It's the huge gap between what we think we're getting and what's actually happening. You walk in expecting, quick edits, total creative freedom, access to all your files, but the reality? Whoa, suddenly you're getting upsold on these super expensive editing packages, you're stuck waiting for weeks, and the studio, they've got your most valuable asset, your source files, on complete lockdown. So what happens is you get stuck in this vicious cycle. You're totally dependent on them. Every single time you want to use the content that you created, you've got to go back to them, pay whatever they're charging, and wait in their line. See, they own the raw material. You're just renting access to a finished product. It's a fantastic business model for them, but for you, it's a creative prison. Okay, but there is another way. There's a powerful alternative, a way to break free from that whole model, and it's all built on one single super powerful principle: data sovereignty. Let's be really, really clear about what this means. Data sovereignty is a simple, but honestly, it's a pretty radical idea. It's the principle that the moment your session is over, every single file, every camera angle, every audio track is yours. 100% yours. Period. No strings attached. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. You own the asset, not the edit. See, the value isn't just in that one final polished video. No, the true long-term value is in the raw asset itself. Owning the asset means you get to control its destiny, not just this one version of it. This whole philosophy is the bedrock of a completely different kind of studio, what we call a raw capture facility. Their job isn't to sell you editing packages. Their job is to give you the highest quality raw ingredients you could possibly imagine. So what do you actually walk away with? You get perfectly lit, gorgeous footage. You get crystal clear, totally noiseless audio. Basically, you get clean data. It's the pristine, raw material you need to build your own creative strategy, all on your own terms. Okay, so that's the big idea. Now, let's look at how this actually works in the real world. What does a session at a raw capture facility really look like? It's beautifully simple. Step 1, you show up and you do what you do best. You perform. You focus completely on your content in a perfect environment. Step 2, the very moment you're done, all the files are transferred directly to your hard drive or maybe sent over a secure link. We're talking instantly. And then step 3, you walk right out that door with 100% of your assets ready to roll with your own strategy. And get this, some facilities take this so seriously that they have something called a 7-day kill switch. They will keep a backup of your files for just 7 days as a courtesy, and then they're permanently deleted. It forces you to take immediate ownership of your intellectual property, and it also minimizes security risks. The message is clear. They are not a storage locker. They are a capture point. Now, this immediate ownership thing, it's not just about security. It's about unlocking some serious power. And why is this more important now than ever? It's because of all the AI tools we have now. Things like Descript or Opus Clip can edit, transcribe, and chop up clips from your high-quality source footage way faster and cheaper than any human can. Owning your raw files is literally the key that unlocks the full power of this new creative world.
So let's bring this all home. Owning your digital assets, it's not just a nice to have, it is a fundamental strategy for any serious creator today. It is all about playing the long game.
So let's just recap the big takeaways here. When you own your raw footage, you're not just making one video. You are building a whole content library that you can use and reuse for years. You're future-proofing all your hard work for the next wave of AI tools that we can't even imagine yet. You keep total creative freedom. And, maybe most importantly, you are protecting your core intellectual property.
This is your call to action. It is time for a real mindset shift. You have to stop renting access to your own creativity. Demand ownership of your source files and start building your own independent asset library today.
And I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Your entire body of work, everything you've ever created, your content is, without a doubt, your single most valuable asset. So, are you really in control of it?